Hello YouTube, today I'll be showing you a Cabbage Facepunch guide. It's basically a minigame where you earn renown points, and it's similar to British Bulldog. Don't worry, it's a safe minigame though. I won't be covering absolutely everything in this guide, so just check the Wikia for the rest of the information. So before we get into the overview of this game, let's look at the rewards. The first and most sought after reward here is Seedicide. Basically what this item does is it destroys seeds as you kill monsters, and awards double farming XP as if it was planted. This item is pretty useful for Slayer, and especially good at Equinites. Another amazing reward here is Slayer VIP tickets. A lot of people, particularly the lower level group who are told, do Slayer, rarely actually use these tickets. And so what this item does is, while it's in your inventory, you get a second option of a Slayer task. It will only consume the ticket if you pick the second option. The mining, farming, and Slayer bonus XP are okay rewards. You can also unlock more abilities for Cabbage Facepunch, but they're not really useful if you're only going to play this game for Slayer tickets or Seedicide. This minigame entrance is located slightly north of Lumbridge Combat Academy. There are no requirements to start this game. You must bank all your items before you enter. So once you cross the barrier, the game engine will search for an active game, or put you in a new game, which should be an instance world. So how exactly does Cabbage Facepunch work? Well, first and foremost, it's not a really difficult game to play, and there are no requirements to start. However, it can take a while to get the hang of it. When you die, you turn into a gorilla, and you can attack other players here until all the players are eliminated. So here are the elements inside the game. The obstacles here are a wall of fire, cabbage cauldrons, and wooden walls. The cabbage cauldron, when standing inside the square, will constantly attack you until you leave the square. The wall of fire, when standing on top of it, will constantly damage you every tick. The wooden wall is well self-explanatory, it's just a blocked wall. Of course, there are also NPC gorillas attacking you inside as well. For every resource node you gather or every monkey minion you kill and loot, you'll heal back 10% of your max HP. No XP will be awarded, so don't worry skillers if you kill the monkeys. The north and south sections of this map are the safe zones. Depending on what is on the scoreboard, it'll alternate between north and south. Also, shown on the scoreboard is a timer, which is countdown to the next round. You must be in the safe zone before the round is over. Otherwise you die and turn into a gorilla. At the end of each round, the nodes, gorillas, and spawns will shuffle. The game ends when either everybody in the game has turned into a gorilla, or 10 rounds have finished. When the entire game is over, you'll get teleported outside the portal, back to your original world, and then you'll be rewarded renown points based on how many points you earn inside. There are abilities in this game you can use as well. The default ones are flameproof, which 3 times per game you can walk through a firewall without getting damage. And then there's also stunning gorillas, which are also helpful too. Both are great for clutch situations, but you can play well without them anyways. There are more abilities you can unlock, but I won't be covering them here. So here are a couple of ways to get points. One is by gathering the resource nodes you see in the arena. Another way to get points is by killing monkeys for cabbage trophies. Surviving a round also earns points. As a gorilla, you don't get many options however. They can only place traps on skilling nodes, but only once per round. Of course, the last and least reliable way to get points is by killing another player. Well, only 2 points are awarded, and not only do you mess up the game for yourself, but it's also for everybody basically. Note that if you do log out before the game is over, you'll lose all your points and have to restart a new game. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate you a few rounds and show you a strategy. You want to keep auto retaliate off at all times, since there's no point of attacking gorillas back. Start by finding a path, preferably a safe path where there's no gorillas or obstacles nearby. It's generally difficult to survive a gorilla if it's on you, as it hit quite hard. Ideally you want to kill monkeys since they give fast points. Now don't worry if you're a skiller because you won't gain any combat XP, and your damage you deal isn't based on your combat stats. It would actually be better if you work in groups, since as you can see, you only need to tag a monkey just once, and then you'll get cabbage trophies when it dies. Basically when someone else tags a monkey or resource node, just try to follow the same player, and do the same thing. Each monkey generally takes 3 to 4 hits to kill, so it's really good for a few people to tag at once. And this is why it generates fast points and keeps your HP up. So yeah, just try to tag and lure a monkey to a group of players, so that way they can help finish off faster. Now if you're low on HP, just try not to panic, as cabbage trophies and resources heal back a fraction of your HP. If there are like less than 15 seconds in this round, and you're like halfway across the map, then just immediately run to the end and wait for next round. If you do happen to die early on, then I suggest you lobby so that way you can transform back to a human. However, in doing so, you'll lose all your points in this game. So that's why I don't suggest you lobby unless you're like at 60 points or less, or it's the early rounds. Like I said before, you hardly earn any points as a gorilla compared to a human, so yeah, try to survive as many rounds as you can. Now honestly, I've seen people intentionally try to PK others. I would advise you don't do that because it's not worth your time. I mean, some people like to troll around, I guess. Now if people constantly do that, then just try to play it another time instead. It's usually peaceful anyways, and they'll get no benefit out of it, so it's really a waste of their time. That's why you try to follow a group of players. Sometimes you can try to manipulate your own instance with a few friends as well. Not sure how this is done, but I think if you're on the same world and you enter almost at the same time, it'll put you in the same instance. Overall, I can't really give you a definite answer on how many points you can earn each hour, but it really depends on how lucky you are, how good you are, and how good others work as a team. I did this on my Ironman and I consistently got 150 points each game, which lasts around 12 minutes if you enter on round 1. It tends to get rusty early on since it's slightly slower to solo. Now every day you do get double points for up to 600 bonus a day, so try to take advantage of that as a daily. So expect around 7-ish hours to get Seedicide, if you're only going to do the daily bonus of 600 points. For those who are farming Slayer tickets, you don't need a lot of them, so you only need to spend a few hours here anyways, and it should last you a while. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope it helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask.